So if you don't have Gunn, then what? Well, the question that no one really has an answer for, but if a future owner really doesn't want Gunn, the only sensible fallback is abandoning the shared universe model entirely. So what I'm saying is, if David Ellison came in and he was just like, nope, I don't want James Gunn, he's gone, get rid of him, boot him out the door, I think that's it. I think the idea and the thought of a shared universe needs to just be thrown out the window. I think you need to just throw it away. No more shared universe idea. Let Marvel have their shared universe. They've been successful with it. DC has tried twice with no success in the last 20 years. That's it. Leave it alone. Move on. I'm not saying do umpteen Batman movies because that's what a lot of people have been saying. I've even said that myself. But what I think is to just hire a tour film directors and filmmakers. Hire filmmakers who want and have ideas for DC films. And I'm going to use Christopher Nolan as an example. Christopher Nolan had an idea for a Batman movie. He came in, pitched a Batman movie. They liked it. It did well. It ended up becoming a trilogy. Boom, done. Move on. Next director. What do you want to do? I want to do a Superman movie. Okay, who's in it? Oh, this Superman movie is going to have Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and this person. Okay, what's the story? We like the story. Let's make it. All right, we make the movie. It does well. Do you have any more? Yeah, I have 3 more movies I want to do. Okay, let's do the next one. And then you build this little pocket, and you just keep building these little pockets. They're not connected universes. These movies aren't going to last for 10, 15 years. No, they're just little secluded universes, essentially little universes, mini universes that go on, and they just get made. And they're just good, secluded stories that you just move forward with. But the kicker here is you don't look backward. And that's going to piss some people off. But you don't look backward because no company rarely succeed in looking backwards. You don't look backwards because you got to your failures from your past. So learn from your mistakes from your past and just keep moving forward. So something like resurrecting the Snyderverse, no, don't do that. It's dead, it's gone, it's in the past. Now, if Zack Snyder wants to come back to DC, ask him, all right, pitch me something new. What do you got? What do you want to do? Oh, you want to do a live-action version of The Dark Knight Returns? All right. What does that sound like? What does it look like? If it sounds good, if it's within budget, let him do it. But that, I think, is the best play if they decide to fire James Gunn and get rid of James Gunn. I think at that point, you don't do a large shared universe. But is that the smartest play? See, Gunn hasn't failed. He hasn't. He hasn't even been given a chance to fully succeed. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest issue right now, is people sit here and are acting like James Gunn is this massive failure at DC. But he hasn't failed. He hasn't even had the chance to fully succeed. He hasn't done anything that would sit there and necessitate these accusations of him being a massive failure. Nothing. All of these accusations of Superman being a massive flop or Peacemaker being a massive flop are greatly exaggerated. Greatly exaggerated. They are. And that's the thing. Look, I can sit here and confidently say, that Superman is not a massive flop. It is not. Superman is not a massive flop. I can confidently say that Peacemaker is not a massive flop. Peacemaker Season 2 was not a massive flop. But people want to twist the narrative to make it seem like these things were flops and were bad. See, in a landscape where comic book films are already fighting for relevance, ripping away your most stable element would be suicide. This isn't about fan wars. It's about brand health, investor confidence, creative continuity, cost efficiency, and global strategy. Like it or not, Gunn represents all of it. Extending his contract for a few more years isn't just a good idea, it might be the only smart play. Whether he sticks around or not, Warner Brothers, whoever owns Warner Brothers, whoever owns DC Studios, because it's going to be a very difficult choice for them. If they come in and James Gunn is still there, and they decide, you know what, we're going to stick with James Gunn. James Gunn just continues moving forward as he does. That's great. That's the smart play. Let him finish off 3 to 5 years. Let's see how it works. Look, if he gets a total of, because you figure Superman was really the start of the universe in 2025. You give him another 5-year contract that takes him to 2026, so 2031-ish, 2031. So that's a total of 6 years to prove himself, essentially. That's it. 6 years to prove himself as a studio head. If he can't prove himself in that 6 years, okay, you get rid of him. That gives him plenty of time to showcase if he can succeed or not. But here's the thing. If they come in and they get rid of him immediately, they then have the decision to make. Do we continue off of the foundation he built, or do we start fresh and new and do something else? And I can assure you that both options, that it's not going to end well. Because they're not going to do what I said here. You know they're not going to do what I said. They're going to want to try and do the Marvel thing and make a whole new universe if they reboot again. And it's just not going to work. If they go off of what James Gunn has built, you're looking at another Frankenstein universe. Regardless, if they keep them, you're still going to have to piss off Snyder fans. So if a new company comes in, they're in a lose-lose situation. So they ultimately have to do what is best for their company and what they think is best for the longevity of the brand. And as I went through here, yes, I made a case for James Gunn to keep his job, but I also highlighted the aspects of why it's important to keep the person who's at the head of the studio, the head of the creative there, even if it's just for a little bit longer, even if it's just to showcase like, hey, let him have a chance to fail or succeed, because that's important.